Hello TikTokers, I'm Black Bright News, and you might say this one is about not allowing a narcissist into your Christian home. You might say, well, how do I know he's a narcissist? Yeah, and that's a good one. That is a hard one to determine, especially from the get-go. I guess it's a question of asking questions. You know, so many of us, we're so trusting. And you know, they say you judge people as you judge yourself. And if you're a good-hearted person, if you're a trusting person, you're going to extend that or those traits onto other people. So you're not going to think that somebody is calculating or planning to get into your life and deliberately trying to get into your home. You're not going to think that. You are going to genuinely think or believe that this person is for you. This person has got your back. Now, narcissists, male and female, are brilliant actors. They should be on the big screen. They know they have mastered women, and in the case of women, they have mastered the minds of men. They know exactly what a man wants, and the men know exactly what the woman wants. And what they do, they taper it. What do I mean by that? They don't give you all the good treatment at once. They kind of gauge it because they know that they're going to have to fall back on that supply at some time when you either suspect that something's not quite right. So what they do is they kind of give you little bits. They know how to give you all, but they give you little bits. They taper it. They give it to you in subsets. And so that you are always kind of, it's like dangling a carrot on a string. You always left wanting. And they always give you just enough to keep you hanging on. Have you remember that song? If I had a voice, I'd sing it. Just enough to keep me hanging on. That's what Narcissist does. And I think that probably was about a narcissist. Anyway, excuse my voice, it's absolutely terrible, but we don't have all the talents that we would like. So yeah, so when you're thinking about a new relationship, and remember also, it's not even a time thing. You can't even say, okay, after 6 months, I should be able to tell what he or she is like. After a year, I should be able to see and know. They'll soon show their true colours. Not with a narcissist. And I have to keep saying there are different types of narcissists, and I do intend to do a video on the different types of narcissists so you know which one you're dealing with. But I'll just talk generally for now because the traits are pretty similar. So with a narcissist, so we'll talk about covert narcissists, we'll talk about those. But yes, with those, they will play the act until they get what they want, regardless of how long that act is. It could be 6 months, it could be 3 years, maybe even 6 years to get you on side, to get what they want from you. They know what they want from you from the get-go, but they're very patient. And like I said, very manipulative. So they have a strategy in place. So it's not even like you're going to say, oh, okay, I should know after about a year or two. Not with a narcissist, you won't. And indeed, the longer you leave them waiting, the worse it's going to be once they trap you, once they get you. Because once you let your guard down, they are going to punish you for making them wait so long. So supposing you're with a narcissist and he realizes he has to work hard to get you, and he's putting up a good show, he's putting on his P's, he's dotting the I's and the T's, and following all the P's and Q's, and he's really kind of setting the stage, and he's doing everything that he thinks he needs to do in order to get you. Once he gets you, And that could be whether you get pregnant for him, whether you decide to move in with him, whether you decide to marry him. Once he feels he's got you, I should say, that is the time he's going to repay you. And you're going to find that you've married a zombie. You've married somebody who doesn't give a toss, who's cold, who's mechanical, who's sinister, it's not going to be nice. But during those honeymoon periods where you are so in love with this person and you can't help loving them because they seem to be able to satisfy most of your needs, they'll be in your house, they'll be snooping around, they'll be looking at your correspondence, they'll be checking you out, they'll be doing a lot of things to find out who you are, what you're doing. They'll be looking for ammunition. They'll be looking for clues. They'll be looking for anything to have something over you. They'll be even checking your bank statements. That's what they do, especially if they're in the house and you're not there. All they do is spend their time using your stuff, borrowing without asking, which is technically stealing, but that's what they do. They borrow without asking. And they feel entitled to do that because as far as they're concerned, you've allowed them into your life. So they feel that they can do whatever they want. And it's your fault for allowing them to do so. So, not a pretty picture, is it, with a narcissist? And so many people, when I see the responses, people are so angry and bitter and frustrated about finding themselves in that position. But do not blame yourself. It's not your fault. You can't help it. How does anyone? Well, I don't know how people do avoid narcissists. But there again, like I said, it's usually those people who are quite vulnerable, who are looking for a missing piece to their puzzle, who are looking for their soulmate, who believes there is somebody out there for them. They're the people who are most vulnerable to narcissists. People who don't care whether or not they're in a relationship or not are not normally caught in by that, unless, of course, they're not being true to themselves. If they're not being true to themselves, they could get caught up in a narcissistic relationship. So all I'm saying is don't blame yourself, peeps, men and women, for getting yourself involved with somebody who's narcissistic. It's a very, very scary relationship to be in, and especially if you are a Christian, it drains you of all your resources. And you just really, all you can do is pray. You just try to pray them out. Some people pray to win the lottery so they can move out. Some people pray that the person is going to drop dead. Some people pray that, some other miracle is going to happen to give them peace of mind. You can try and pray it out, but the thing is that sometimes we have to make the decision, the very, very hard decision ourselves. Sometimes it's not about looking for options. It's about making choices, difficult choices, when you have a narcissist in your life. And especially one you've been with for so long and who knows all your shortcomings and knows what makes you tick. And, who just simply psychologically controls you. It's very, very difficult. But there's so many people in these relationships. You can tell from the views of these narcissistic videos. Thousands and thousands. So you're not alone in this. I think that's all I'm going to say. Just God has a way of protecting you by showing you signs and by your instinct. Follow your instinct. Whatever your instinct is saying, listen, go into the silence and just do whatever your instinct tells you to do. You'd be surprised how many narcissistic people are in your life. But once you recognize the signs, you'll know what to do about it. The meek should not be mistaken for weakness, as one subscriber said. And so, with